Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to do a quick video here. I've got another long video I've been editing for the past 2 days, but I wanted to get this one up first because this is great news for all of the abuse survivors and all of us activists, who have been fighting so hard to get the governments to recognize, what Watchtower is doing. And I want to thank all of you so much from Australia who have been, and some here in this country, who have been calling and letting us know about what's going on in Australia. And I didn't know when you all were sending emails. Nobody sent me any links or documents or anything. So, I wasn't exactly sure what was going on. And I know Mike has talked to some of you on the phone. And, like I said, we didn't really know what was going on. So I want to thank all of, the Australia activists who have been sending us links and letting us know, because I think this is really important of what is going on. And unfortunately, Watchtower, even if they did put something on jw.org for the Jehovah's Witnesses, we know it would be spun to where they're the victims and being persecuted by Satan's world. But I wish, so many Jehovah's Witnesses, could see what is going on in Australia and Canada. First of all, I've got the court documents, and unfortunately, it looks like they're all in French. But I was told the Canadian class action, the appeal was denied, and the class action can move forward. Unanimous decision by 3 judges. Because we know Watchtower has been trying to appeal that case from going forward. So it looks like it was a unanimous decision by the 3 judges. So this is great news. And Australia is heating up with the parliament, the government there. And the Prime Minister and several others are just blasting Watchtower. And I'm going to try to put the links to all of this down below. Australian paper, the National Redress Scheme, Scott Morrison names and shames groups refusing to sign up. Scott Morrison on Thursday revealed the government was finalizing sanctions it will slap on the organizations, and we all know Watchtower is one of those. The Prime Minister named and shamed the Jehovah's Witnesses, Kinja Communication, Lakes Entrance Pony Club, and Fairbridge Restored Limited for blatantly refusing to join the scheme. 2 institutions, the Australian Air League and the Boys Brigade, New South Wales, have signaled their intent to sign up to the redress scheme since July 1st. Very good article. I'm going to put that below. I'm not going to read all of it because I've got a lot here. He also, the Prime Minister, also did a he spoke before Parliament, and the transcript is here. Now, you can go to the Parliament of Australia and type in Jehovah's Witnesses, and a lot of this comes up. But I want to read a lot of this one here, because this one's very important. This is a fragment from the House of Representatives proof, National Apology to Victims and Survivors of Institutional Child Sexual Abuse speech, and it's dated December 1st, 2020. And this was given by Tony Zappia, MP. And he goes on to explain the Australian Royal Commission and how much money they spent. 345 millions of taxpayer dollars well spent when one considers, the prevalence of abuse within our institutions, laid bare for all to see through the commission's work. And we know it has had a tremendous effect on the rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses who've seen those hearings and have seen all of this, seeing their governing body, Jeffrey Jackson, lie, swear on the Bible to God to tell the truth and to lie through his teeth. It was very disturbing. Very disturbing. They have part of his speech here, and I'm going to go down to the third paragraph. Like I said, I'm going to put the link down below. The page number on this is 99, but it's like the first one after the cover of the report. Regrettably, there's one notable institution identified in the Prime Minister's statement that is yet to agree to willingly sign up to the scheme. I refer to the Jehovah's Witnesses. They are probably best known amongst the general population as those who don't accept blood transfusions. It is estimated that there are 8.5 million converts worldwide, with approximately 68,000 in Australia. I believe the vast majority of those people are good people and very faithful to their beliefs. However, the same cannot be said of the organization's global leadership, who totally control their followers, about whom I direct my remarks. Jehovah's Witnesses, this is the Australian government saying this about your fearless, faithful and discreet slave governing body leaders. Pennsylvania, this includes you too. Jehovah's Witness activities are banned by over 30 countries in the world. Now that was news to me because I thought it was only in the teens. But banned by over 30 countries in the world. What does that tell you? These governments are realizing how extreme they are. They are one of Canada's wealthiest and least transparent charities. America is the head office of this organization with an estimated 1.25 million converts. They don't believe in military service, national anthems, or voting. They don't celebrate holidays. They shun those who in their eyes go astray, and they believe sins require 2 witnesses to be verified. Unless it's apostasy, and then boom, they can do it on hearsay. Arising from the Royal Commission, there were 1,800 Jehovah's Witnesses identified as victims of abuse. Now to hear Watchtower, especially Paul Gillies and all these others and their press releases, they make it sound as just an isolated case here and there. Oh, well, it's just a few. No. 1,800 identified as victims of abuse. 1,006 potential perpetrators, and startlingly, 537 self-confessed perpetrators. As stated by one writer, and as it would appear from the figures available, the Jehovah's Witnesses had the worst rates of child sex abuse and cover-up of any institution examined by the Royal Commission. There is no evidence of any referrals to police or other authorities. Clearly, they also believe they are above the law, and we all know they are. Obey God rather than men. When faced with a complaint of child abuse within the Jehovah's Witness organization, the 2-witness rule applies. And we heard hours and hours of that testimony before the Australian Royal Commission. The practice is fully set out in the report of Case Study 29, released by the Commission in 2016. So what is the justification put forward by the Jehovah's Witnesses to not participate in the National Redress scheme? Alarmingly, despite all the evidence to the contrary, they assert that no institutional child abuse occurs. They claim the abuse uncovered is a familia abuse, meaning it's within the family. They assert that because they do not run child care camps or other social activities that have a child away from the parents, the institution is not responsible and therefore not liable for any wrongdoing. Wow. And it goes on. And it's really disturbing. But I wanted to mention the last paragraph on this page 99. This was important. Now I'm going to put the link down below to our video because we actually covered this a couple of years ago. The Jehovah's Witnesses are a very wealthy organization. All assets belong to the Watchtower Bible Tract Society and not the local congregants. They call their churches kingdom halls, and they are built using congregants' labor and donations. The labor is unpaid, and I understand at times include the labor of children. And we have clips in our video showing little tiny kids carrying a big stack of bricks in the building of a kingdom hall. I got these video clips from jw.org. They were bragging about kingdom halls being built in these third world countries. And like I said, it shows little tiny kids, maybe only like 5 or 6 years old, with a stack of bricks, working. Tell me that's not slave labor. They derive money from deceased estates bequeathed to the Watchtower Bible Tract Society by convening district conventions and circuit assemblies and through the sale of real estate, which appears to have escalated since the Royal Commission in Australia and inquires into their organizations in other countries. Their wealth is estimated in billions, not millions of dollars. They are more financially capable of participating in the redress scheme. No institution is to be congratulated for participating in the redress scheme. It is only the moral path to follow. And this is what is so disturbing. And like we've said before, Watchtower is basically damned if they do and damned if they don't. Because if they join the redress scheme, and I think it's only going to cost them, what was it, like $135 million? I mean, that's the sale of one kingdom hall over there in Australia. So I don't think it's a money issue. But if they join that, then they admit, and then the world and the rank and file Jehovah's Witnesses can see, yeah, they do have a problem, and they're admitting it. Of course, we know, little bits here and there that they're actually admitting it. Even in that morning worship video we covered, Luciano is saying, of how we mishandle child abuse. Well, they're admitting. So, but if they don't join it, Parliament here is trying to get their tax-exempt status taken away from them and any federal money and grants that they may be getting. So, I mean, Watchtower, if they're so money hungry in the long run, it would actually be cheaper for them, I believe, to just join the redress scheme. Because if they start getting taxed on all their property and money donations they're taking in and on their investments, that's going to be a lot more money. But we can see this is why when you look at their Australia financial records, those documents that you can get on the Australian government, and JW Leaks also has a lot of these documents, but you can see that they are moving this money overseas for, overseas aid. That's what they're doing all over the place, just moving this money around. And we already know, we did video years ago about the hedge funds and all of these other questionable, financial activities. So, like I said, I am going to put the link down below. This is very interesting. Now on this other document, it is the House of Representatives proof, and it's a bill for the Treasury Law Amendment. And it's just a fragment also. It starts on page 54. But Ms. Clayton is, I rise to make a contribution to this debate on the Treasury Laws Amendment 2020 Measures Number 6 bill. I'll be focusing on one particular part of this bill today, and that is Schedule 3, which amends the Australian Charities and Not-for-Profits Commissions Act to encourage organizations that still haven't signed up to the National Redress Scheme to do so. And so you see, they are really serious about this. And for Watchtower to keep, being so stubborn is just, it's just unbelievable. If they really, truly cared about the abuse survivors, they would want to do anything to help. And that would include joining the Redress scheme to make sure that these abuse survivors that have already filed applications for this fund would get paid. Because there's a lot that aren't going to get paid because of these institutions. And scrolling down, it says, sadly, a number of survivors have already died without their abusing organizations ever signing up to the scheme. This is appalling, it's unacceptable, and it cannot go on. Today I'm calling out those organizations like the Jehovah's Witnesses, and then they name the others. These institutions were named in the Royal Commission into Institutional Responses to Child Sex Abuse, so they know well that they have active claims against them. Despite this, they have failed to join the scheme. Not only that, they have failed to even signify their intent to join, as they were requested to do so in the first half of this year. So this is actually good news for the abuse survivors, because the government is going to be stepping in and punishing these organizations that refuse to join this. And keep up the great work, everyone. And thank you so much for watching, and you will have a wonderful day. Bye.